My name is Barbara Wright, and I'm going to talk to you today about why people treat computer devices like humans and how this will affect the development of computer devices in the future. Let's say I know you and I see you on the street and I stop and say, "Hi, how are you? What's up?" I would expect you to interact with me in some way. In fact, I would expect our interaction to follow a certain protocol. If you didn't answer me, or you said something that didn't make sense, or you looked off into space, that might throw me off. In our interactions with people, we have social constructs that have been built by growing up human in our society. I am here today to convince you that when we interact with computer devices, the same social constructs come into play. I will first introduce some research about social structures of communication with humans and computers, and then I will talk about research that shows how important social protocols are within regards of learning and with computers. And then near the end I'll talk about research that shows the importance of social protocols in regards to development of helpful computer devices. In the last 2 years, I've been studying media at Radford University, and this topic of computer and human interaction has been of special interest and study for me. I believe that it's very important for the future device development. First, I'd like to talk about a study with Clifford Nass of Stanford University, and he says that humans are naturally programmed to use written and spoken language to interact with other humans. So while they consciously know the difference between machines and humans, their brains haven't evolved enough to feel the difference subconsciously. Dr. Nass and Dr. Moon did some studies at Stanford that studied politeness and interaction with computers and people. When the computers were polite to people, the people would be polite back to the computers. And also they'd be more likely to do a task the computer asked them to do. They'd also give the computer a better evaluation if they had to give that evaluation on the same computer, as in face-to-face, versus on paper or a different computer. The more we know about human interaction with computers, the better we can develop the devices that will interact better with them. Now for the second set of research with learning tools, Dr. Lee, Liu, and Ryu of University of Southern California, Boston University, and Kangwon University of Korea did a study with gender-related communication with children. Children are more sensitive to gender differences, so they used children and they used voices, images, and subject matter that were either gender consistent or gender inconsistent. They matched up or they didn't match up. When they were genderly consistent, the children were able to learn more and retain more. And their theory was that when the voices and the images were not consistent, it would cause a cognitive distraction, a subconscious distraction in the children that would make it hard for them to learn because it was socially inconsistent. These studies show the important link between social communication and learning. And when co-learning with computers, the computers use stereotypically human dialogue, the students retain more. The second set of learning had to do with college students and compassionate co-learning computers. When the computers use compassionate dialogue with the students would retain more and learn more. And when there was no compassionate language used, the students did not retain more. So you can see that when co-learning computers use that stereotypically social language, students learn more. Now I'd like to talk about studies that have to do with helpful devices. Sebastian Feller, PhD of English Linguistics in Singapore, focused on intelligent tutoring and robotics. And he has some recommendations. He says that it's very important to study human and computer interactions to understand the psychology of those interactions, and understanding them gives glimpses of better design for future designs for helpful devices. Again, in order to design devices to better help humans, the social structure of communication needs to be addressed. The last study I have is Dr. Carrie, Saleh, and Arab of the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering in Waterloo, Canada. And they did an overview of research done on computer devices that help people, all from learning all the way to disabilities. And they said that these devices are of great value, and that the quality of any given device depended on its interaction with the user. So they think that enormous attention needs to be paid to better interactive design. With the knowledge that these computer devices are becoming increasingly important agents in helping humans, we need to get to the core concepts of how this communication works, and with the humans and the computers that help them. Research shows that users respond socially and psychologically to their computers and other devices, and when communication between computers and people mimics socially constructed interactions, those communications become smoother. Therefore, I conclude that effective communication between humans and computers will only happen when these devices generate characters that respond with the same social signals and behavior as their human users. The more we understand the social requirements of our human subconscious, the better we can build machines for our future media convergence. Thank you very much.